you saw the Errol Spence fight, I assume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would love to know what was your thoughts on it.
Yeah. It was, for me, I look at it, he, it looked like, he did have a weight problem, like cutting that weight. He's been there since amateur, and he just didn't look on point, man. He looked off balance, just off. And I'm not taking nothing away from Terence Crawford. The kid is amazing. Boxing, you know how it is. When you get in there, you start feeling that power. You start feeling certain stuff. And if you're not really feeling it, you're all. I mean, he was so off, like off balance, off the mark. Wasn't hitting none of his punches. And when they landed, it wasn't nothing on the punch. And to me, it seemed like cutting that weight for so long. Terrence coming up, so he's fuller, bigger, feel fresh. He didn't look fresh. He didn't look good coming in at all. Like his eyes or nothing. I'm like, what's up with that? So
I talked with Shane Mosley, and Shane said the same thing. He said that they look like the cut in the weight and the inactivity for whatever it is, 12, 13 months.
Yeah, that also. Yes.
So you agree with that? You think it was? Oh. So how much of it would you say was the weight drain, and how much of it was just Bud being the better fighter?
I mean, I got to go with more of Bud being the better fighter. I'm not gonna take nothing away from that. But cutting weight, I fought at heavyweight. I know people say, well, you fought at heavyweight. No, I used to cut weight also. And we know how it is. And this is a big fight. And you think you're gonna rehydrate and be full and healthy when you get in the ring 24 hours later or less? Nah, it doesn't work like that. And especially, you've been at that weight since amateur. Amateur coming all the way through your whole career, and now the first thing you said coming off of that, well, when they ask him about, well, what's next? Okay, maybe a rematch, but at 54. Why at 54? Because he's having problems making that weight. So that's a big thing. People don't realize. And then you get in the ring, and you start to your body not feeling right. It. And this kid can fight, can punch, and everything else. He's a great fighter. So it's hard to say that, Errol Spence, like people saying, oh, he got blown out, washed up. He did. He got smoked. But it's not like his career over. You'll see him at 54 full and fresh and ready to fight. And in this fight, he didn't look he have it at all.
Well, do you think 7 pounds will really make that big of a difference, gaining that 7 to go to 54?
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive. I mean, you talking about 2 different weight classes. 7 pounds is big. And now you fuller, bigger, feel stronger, and feel more confident. When you got to drain down, man, it's tough. So, like I said, people think I fought at heavyweight, but I fought at small weights way before that.
Well, so what do you say to people that say, well, he just fought, who did he fight? Ugas before, same weight, after the car accident, looked amazing.
Yeah.
What do you think the difference is?
But it's a different fight. It's a different fighter in front of you. The magnitude of the fight was much bigger in this fight, more on the line. Nerves play a role. Terence Crawford definitely played the biggest role. He's a good fighter, can punch him with both hands. But he just didn't look like, and a boxer can make you look like that also. I mean, Terence made him look like that, average, but Terence was doing Terence. I mean, and I know Derrick James, he getting criticized, the coach of Errol Spence, great trainer. He's now out there fighting for him, and I know he put together a great game plan for Errol Spence, but stuff just didn't work out. He just didn't look like he had nothing on his punching, just nothing. I mean, it didn't look like the same Errol Spence that you see, but at the same time, Terence Crawford is a great fighter.
So at a rematch at 54, do you see it going massively different?
Yeah, I don't know massively. I mean, anything can happen. anything. You know, I don't know what's in their mind and how they're gonna, you know, play out, how the styles, you know, match up. But I see it going different in the fact of Errol Spence having more energy and having more pop on his punch. I mean, like he didn't have anything. The kid is strong kid. You watch him fight over the years, and you're like, he has something. He get him on the ropes. He gonna do something. He didn't have nothing. Balance wasn't good as good as it used to be. So, you know, I feel for guys like that. You know, and he's cutting weight, and people criticize him, throwing him, he's washed up, he's done. I'm like, really? It's the one fight. I mean, the nerves going into this fight and the pressure has a lot to do with it too. But Terence Crawford, great fighter, man. Great fighter.
Did you see there's this thing floating around that there's this doctor saying that because if you saw before the fight, Crawford, Spence, looked a little almost high, glassy eyes.
I said that.
Oh, did you see what the doctor said that it's clear signs of probably neurological damage resulting from his car accident. Do you think that's true?
Well, if it's true, shame on the commission, shame on the doctors that passed him and allowed him to fight. I mean, they should know that.
Right.
So if it's true, but hey, no excuses, man.
Right. Well, what
Terence Crawford is that guy.
He is. What doesn't make sense to me about that theory is, again, Ugas fight, he didn't look anything like that, and that was well after the car accident. So why would this be different?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you at one point, I remember, dropped down to light heavyweight, and I think you did it, and you lost that weight. And can you speak to that? Didn't that really affect you badly, losing all that weight?
Man, losing all that weight, I had nothing. When you watch me box in that particular fight, is that the same guy? And then watch my last fight after that. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. I got speed. I got my movement. I got my energy. I wasn't flat. Errol Spence looked very flat in the fight. Just, flat, just lethargic looking. Didn't look like the same guy. But I'm not going to take nothing away from Terence Crawford. I'm not going to take nothing away from that win. That was a masterpiece.
It was. So be honest. Before the fight started, who did you have winning?
No, honestly, I don't pick. I used to pick and say this guy can do this because you watch fights, but I don't know what's going on. Like, you don't know what's going on in training camp. You don't know if somebody got knocked out in camp, the confidence. You don't know how hard somebody hit. Once you get in the ring, you feel that power. You're like, oh, damn, he hit harder than I thought, man, or he's better than I thought. So I don't pick or judge fights like that anymore.
Were you leaning towards anybody?
No, I wasn't leaning towards anyone. Not 50-50. I wanted, not wanting, but on the one side, Errol Spence, because of my man Derrick James. That's he's 92, man. That's 90. We all came up together.
Yep.
So
yep.
We just wanted him to be successful, and he's getting criticized. He don't fight for Errol Spence. He can't get in there and fight. He can tell him everything, the best stuff ever, but he can't fight for him.
No,
so people that's saying, he's not a great coach now and he's not this, shut the hell up, man. That's bull. That's bull.
If you see, it literally overnight, they went from he's the greatest coach in boxing, trainer of the year, to now he's not that good because of one loss.
Come on. It's crazy.
It is. Boxing's like that, though. Boxing's really full of people who love criticizing.
Yeah, people stop criticizing until you get in those situations. They just want to be Derrick. They want to be in his situation where he's a great coach, but they don't want that criticism that comes with, with his guy losing. So
are
people be quiet.
Exactly. No, exactly. So are you at all concerned with Errol Spence fighting again, being how he looked throughout the fight and how badly he got beat? I mean, it wasn't the worst beating I've ever seen, but it could take its toll.
No, actually, no, I'm not.
No,
not worried about it. I mean, he's been at that weight class since amateur. So the cutting the weight, I don't know who came up with, hey, you got to cut weight to get down to this weight and not fight at the weight that you walk around at. You know, what you train down to. I mean, it's tough. I mean, and we all think in every fight, you're fighting, you're doing well, and then it's that one fight, it's like, dang, man, I don't really feel like that. What are you going to do, pull out? No, he's a fighter, man. He's tough. He's not going to pull out. He's going to fight, regardless of how he feel. Yeah. And it looked like, he just didn't look the same, because I kept saying that, man, like he high or something. What's wrong with him?
It looked like it. And, you know, when I watched, what's that?
No. I just say, hey, it just happens, man.
Oh yeah. When I was watching Terence Crawford, and you know, you were a brilliant counterpuncher. So, wasn't Terence just executing the counterpunching? Like, was that not his entire how he won, his key to victory in that fight?
Man, countered. I mean, every punch he threw, he countered everything on point. I mean, that's just good. That's good training. Good research, good timing in the ring, being patient. I mean, it was just a great performance.
He did a lot of what you did. You would throw a lot of straight. So I did this video breaking down, and the first knockdown, if you remember, he threw a straight left and then followed with a power jab. And you used to throw a lot of straight shots just like that, because there's something about those straight shots that get through the guard where people are usually guarding to the side. Those go right down the pipe. Right?
Yes. Right down the pipe, and especially if you throw them in sets, like 3, 4, 5, man. You know, and I guess a lot of trainers may not teach it, but I love teaching it, and I love doing it, or love doing it.
You kind of cut out for a second. You said that if you do them in sets.
Yeah, I throw punches in sets, like I call it sets, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 10. Just let them go. He letting them hands go. How you gonna block everything? And Terence he was just on point and hitting every shot every time. See, like every punch he threw, it landed.
Right. And the jab, because he's a natural right-hander, so I feel like that would make that jab even stronger. No?
Yeah. Yes, jab, but man, he has power in both hands. Like, I mean, it's crazy. I'm watching him. I'm like, man, he got power. If he switch, and he didn't switch. No. I don't think he switched in the fight. He stayed left-handed the whole time, which was amazing. Usually, sometimes I see him coming out right-handed, and then he'll switch lefty like 2 rounds later, and it throws you off. He didn't go for that. He was like, no, I'm going to stay lefty with him the whole time.
I feel like the southpaw stance would give Errol more trouble, you know, as opposed to the right-handed stance that he's used to.
Yes.
Right?
Good time. Because how do you train for him? How do you really train for him? I mean, you got to train, okay, when is he going to switch? And you thinking, man, is he going to ever switch? And he does it. And he's fighting very well in the left-hand stance the whole time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was, do you think, are you familiar with Boots Ennis? Have you watched the fight?
Yeah. Yeah, he's nice.
Do you think, maybe I'll get Zab in here. Do you think Boots Ennis is ready for Terence Crawford?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's ready for anybody. I mean,
you think so?
The thing is, if you're rated, what is he rated? Number 1?
I think he should be if he's not.
Across the board. So if you're number 1, why wouldn't you not be ready? It's your time. It's your time. You're going to either, hey, go test those waters right now. It's like a champion. I hate hearing people say, you know, I don't know if this champion is really ready for the other champion. No, you champion. You ready for the world. That's why you're world champion. So Boots is ready. The kid he's amazing talent, and I think it'll be another great fight. I mean, more tactical here than throwing.
Isn't Boots very similar of a fighter to Terence Crawford? I see a lot of similarities.
Some.
No? You don't?
Some. You know, both of them smart. Both of them got power that can, and who can outthink each other? with a hand speed. I think Boots throw the little faster hands. He throw them in more sets of punches. He let them go. But Terrence, man, that patience was beautiful. Just patient picking his shots, thinking his way through. See, I'm a thinking guy. You think your way through these fights. You pick all the shots, and even watching film, when you watch film, you break it down like, okay, he may do this. It doesn't really say that he's gonna do this, but if he do it, I'm gonna remember off the jab, off the right hand coming, whatever happens, I know how to counter it. And man, he countered it to the highest level. At the biggest fight, of the year, he did it.
He did it. And, I also saw he set a lot of traps, too.
Woo!
Right?
Yes, that's good. Yeah, he did.
What traps, what do you remember in terms of the traps? Because people aren't talking a lot about the traps that Terence set.
So, taking that side step over, boom, off the jab, turn, boom, and hitting him with a left, with that left hand. I'm like, damn, he's hitting him every time, getting right in every single time, taking a step back, just creating enough space to where Errol Spence couldn't hit him. But when Errol even got him on the ropes, and try to work his stuff, man, the movement, the shoulder, just the little stuff, and he's throwing off of everything. I mean, he was really on point. It was. I'm like, I'm excited still about the fight, because I'm like, damn, this was a masterpiece, like a master. I remember when I fought David Tua, and people said, man, that was a masterful fight. I'm like, I watched that. I'm like, damn, that was nothing close to that. That was wow. It was very impressive.